Hi, this is Lee, and this is Arjon
Yes.
from Anathema, and you are watching Morow.com.
Keep rocking.
And hope you'll be listening to our new album, Weather Systems, and hope you enjoy the new songs. Cheers.
Yes. It's always about the feeling in Anathema anyway. It's always,
Yeah.
you know, that's what the main theme is always.
Each song, with lightning song, is kind
You
of
could portray that as an emotion.
or Storm Before the Calm, which is heavy. You could be feeling moody, and it's just the emotions of how you're feeling. And then you've got Sunlight, which is a feeling of love and joy, and it was Danny's kind of thing that was going on in his head, and he just wanted to put this across as in emotions, but with weather, sort of types of weather.
We also listened to the shipping forecast when he got to sleep, and so that sort of tied in. There was always, the weather. It was how it was important, and it's the weird names that they used to say on the shipping forecast. So it was all tied in somewhere, and I think it sounds nice as well. Weather systems, but could be called emotional systems as well. It's sort of a bit tied together. There's a certain type of song that an orchestra will fit, but maybe the song's a little bit more of a classical feel, but for a real orchestra to work, it has to have space in the song for it to come through. So you just generally get a feel if this needs,
extra strings. It needs a proper, oomph, and it just gives it a new lease of life. This extra sort of, dimension, doesn't it? And it's amazing how you just hear it come alive and stuff. And without it, the track would sound just empty, really. Without it. So I think you say is certain songs, you just know when you hear it. You go, oh,
that'd be nice with strings.
Yeah.
Some songs,
wouldn't suit it, or it's too strong, or it's.
You could have MIDI strings on it, but sometimes they'll work better because they're a bit more snarly, they're a bit more evil. Whereas the full natural orchestra it's got its own identity.
Normally, times before that, I was always working, and the priorities was always different. And this time, I didn't have a job. I stayed for the session the whole time of the recording. There were majority of times where, there's an extra bit of vocal there, and sometimes it was we didn't know what we were gonna. Whether I was going to be singing on that, or sometimes it was a bonus, that it just suited the song, and it was all it was in a way guesswork, but it kind of certain songs just really suited my voice, and everyone was really made up, that I was in a lot more, and me personally, I really enjoyed making this album the most, because I felt probably more of a part of it, than I ever have. So it was a really good time to be, to doing a lot more, and about time.
Outside at the edge of my.
We love it, I wouldn't have anything else really, because of the family thing, we tell each other how we feel, and kind of it's can be a bit crazy at times, and but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's it's something that we used to, it's nothing different.
Yeah,
it's growing up as kids.
It's always been like this, so I don't really know any other way. It's like saying, what's it like being in your family? It's like what it's always been like.
Yeah.
It's because I've known I've known the Cavs, the Cavanas, since I was 10. So we were met as Vinny was the first person I met at school. You know, alright, I'm Dougie, I'm Cav, you know, and so it's sort of making silly music at the start, you know, and we still are.
But you know, on a grander scale, you know. Obviously it's got bigger, like, but you know, we're still like kids at heart, if you know what I mean. We're not quite grown up, really.
Something I cannot say, something I can't explain.
I think you're always going to lose a few, but there's a lot of people who've sort of grown up with us and sort of appreciate that. There's still sort of an ethic there, you know, a musical ethic that hasn't really changed from the beginning. Like, what it's still sort of
kind of come
emotionally deep, sort of how it's and that's never really changed from the first album.
The ride with us, in a way.
The ideology of the first album is still pretty much the same as it is now. Like, you know, the emotional sort of kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, people still see that, you know, and I suppose I don't know what everybody listens to as well.
I mean, you're bound to lose a lot, you know, a few fans, because obviously they like the heavier music, but you know, but you're also going to gain a lot of new fans as well. So it's kind of give and take, really, isn't it? But you know, that's what you have to do sometimes.
As long as you write what you feel, you know, you're not pretending to be something you're not. Then people, you know,
will appreciate that. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we just want to make music that we're proud of, and hopefully, you know, if people love it and enjoy it, then that's great. You know, we're so happy, you know, that they can. Yeah.
You just want me to be
It seems to be the last two have sort of pushed us up a bit, you know, but
we were like seeing like them at that stage of their career, like probably to our stage of career, and
we were sort, you know,
it seems like around the same time, you know, it's around the same level. Where, I mean, they've obviously, you know, really grown, you know, as a band, and you know, and the same for us. Like I think we're growing like slowly, but you know, it's definitely becoming something. You know, people are talking about it and listening. So you know, and we've noticed, you know, we're playing bigger venues, so obviously something's going right, isn't it? You know. Because every time we go somewhere, we're like, oh God, this is big, innit? You know, and you're like, God, okay, maybe we're doing something right.
A lot of the gigs we're playing on this tour are the gigs that we played with Porcupine Tree.
As
you know,
support,
so like, you know, so there is sort of like similarities with their career and our career. We're just a couple of years behind. We're like, hey,
and they're like in the 40s now. We're not quite there yet. You know, we're still like, you know, late 30s kind of, so we've got a few more years to go yet before we, you know, but we'll see how we go.